Alrighty, good morning everyone, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the final episode of the Level 1 podcast for this streaming week anyway. Today is Wednesday, the 8th of November, 2023. I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to the show for what could be the conclusion of Alan Wake 2. We're actually not sure because I don't know how long the game actually is. We're currently 23 hours in, but we just opened up the ability to do a whole bunch of side stuff, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I'll recap and let you know where we are in the game. So today's streams are going to be a full push to try to finish the game. If we don't finish it, it's okay. As long as we are, near the end, and we can probably wrap it up within one more stream, that's the goal. And if you're wondering why the big push, to finish Alan Wake 2 today, it's because we now have new releases coming out in the next 2 weeks, and we need to get to them. And because I was sick, it put me back a big way, and because these games have been so lengthy, every single game I'm playing is 20 to 30 hours long, and this didn't used to be the case back in the day. It very much used to be, a lot of games were around 10, 15 hours tops, even at doing the side content, and so you could wrap up 2, 3 new releases within a week or two. Excuse me, I'm still sick as you can hear. And you can move on. And this time of the year was some of the craziest because it would be playthrough after playthrough after playthrough after playthrough. And it's just, that's not the case anymore. It's like, if you want to play any of these games, you got to take your time with them to get through them. So you're talking weeks and weeks of content, right? So it is what it is. And I'm doing my absolute best to try to finish the game today. As you can hear, the landscapers are outside. I tried to wait for them to pass by before I started the show, and now they're coming back. I just can't win. You guys know how this week has been. I talked about it yesterday on the show. This has not been a great week. Between my lingering illness still not going away, still having the post-nasal drip, still having the stupid sinus, congestion and the drippage and the coughing and everything, it sucks. I hate this. I just want to be normal again. And it looks like I'm a far cry from being normal, that these symptoms are lingering and lingering and lingering and won't go away, and there's nothing I can really do about it, okay? But in addition to that, it's like every possible annoyance, every really annoying thing, as a follow-up to yesterday, all right, first of all, yesterday, incredibly positive, supportive day. People came back to streams, they engaged in the content, they talked with me during the content, they supported the content in droves. So thank you for that. Basically, yesterday was a pretty great day, and I wish that I could keep that momentum up, but I realized that it's not going to be like that every day. I wake up this morning to more chargebacks. Yeah, about $20 more, so not a horrendous, oh my god, the sky is falling situation. But again, it sucks starting negative $20 today because this idiot back in September committed credit card fraud on such a wide scale that it looks like there's gonna be like trickling in chargebacks over the course of the next several weeks. It seems like this person may have been like tipping all month of September in little increments, and now every single one of them is getting charged back. So there's nothing I can really do about it but deal with it. So here we go again, you know, starting today off negative, and it's like, man, tomorrow's my day off. I gotta buy groceries. I gotta buy pet supplies. I have to get food for my wife and I. You know, it's our one day off a week. We're not cooking this week. So it's nice to get some food out. And with all the other stuff that happened this week, you know, it's crazy because I'm thinking in my head, wow, I thought I had a good streaming week. And then I look, well, actually, no. This bill came due. This bill came due. I ordered all that medicine off of Amazon, and that money went away. And I'm looking like, all right, that's where all my money went. You know, it's just life. It's what happens. So, yeah, you know, I'm in a situation here where I'm in a big push to finish these lingering games I'm playing. I want to move on to the new stuff. But, yeah, right now, financially, stuff sucks. And there's nothing I can really do about it besides just stick with it, keep playing the games I'm playing, finish them up, right? So we can get to the new stuff starting on Friday. Because Friday will be, at minimum, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Okay? Of course, I have to buy it. And that's another thing entirely. You know, I have about $25 in Microsoft credit that I got via my Game Pass points that I redeemed the other day. But outside of that, I got to drop another $50 to get Modern Warfare 3 for Friday, and that's right out of the money I raised this week. So it's like, oh my gosh, everything on top of itself, right? It sucks. Anyway, all that being said, you know, I'm not in a bad way. I'm actually looking forward to today. I'm looking forward to seeing what this endgame stuff will be in Alan Wake 2. Being that we just got the bolt cutters, and now we can backtrack to all the areas of the game that previously I had been in, but couldn't explore fully. Alright, I'm excited to see what we're going to discover. Will we discover more lore? Will we discover upgrades, like inventory upgrades? Will we discover, you know, puzzles and interesting stuff? I don't know. But that's really what the focus will be today, is the backtracking with the bolt cutters, doing all the things that I missed previously, and then continuing on with the story and seeing if we can wrap up the game. So, it should be a fun day of Alan Wake 2. If you've liked Alan Wake, it's funny. Take a look at what I'm watching, or what I'm wearing. This is the same exact shirt that I wore on release day of Alan Wake 2 nearly 2 weeks ago. Can you believe it was nearly 2 weeks ago? It feels like it was yesterday when I started this game. It really does. And it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's how crazy time's been flying between me playing these new games, but me being sick and losing so much streaming time. I feel like I just begun. And here we are 2 weeks later. I'm wearing the same shirt again, kind of full circle for the end game of the content today. Okay? So, anyway, I hope that you guys are ready for a fun and chill day of Alan Wake 2. But outside of that, we got a few other things to talk about today. First of all, yesterday, I experimented with something new. Alright? I experimented with something different. YouTube has automated ads that they have now employed. They have this new algorithm that they're running. Or not really algorithm, I guess it's some kind of, I don't know if it's AI. I don't know what it is. But basically, they keep pushing for this. Every single time you turn on a live stream, YouTube keeps telling you, hey, you really should turn on our automated ads. Hey, you should try automated ads. Okay? And the way it works is, there's 3 levels of automated ads on YouTube. There's conservative, balanced, and heavy. Like, it actually says that, heavy. Okay? And it says right on it. It says conservative means minimal intrusions. Most people won't even notice. But also, you know, low impact to any kind of earnings you're going to get. Balance says kind of average impact. You know, people might notice an ad here or there. And you might make a little bit extra money. You might not. And then heavy is like, okay, so you'll definitely make some more money. But it could definitely hurt your viewer retention because we're going to be running ads like constantly. Okay? So, I don't really know how they're employed. And we tested it yesterday on conservative. And what we found running this yesterday during my first stream, we did it during the first Alan Wake stream yesterday, was that it looks like every 30 minutes that a stream is running, it runs an ad. So, for example, I turned on my stream at 10:45 a.m., and right this moment, like 2 minutes ago, it ran an ad because it hit that 30-minute mark. So it looks like every 30 minutes, it's going to run an ad. However, people are telling me the ads are not very intrusive. A lot of the ads are very short. You know, like 5 seconds. And it's real quick. And you're right back to the stream. So it's not that big of a deal. So I get the feeling that any of these longer, more intrusive ads, you have to set it to those heavier settings in order to get those. I think someone had said yesterday that there was like one ad that they couldn't skip that was a little bit on the longer side. But for the most part, it didn't seem to be a big deal. Most people weren't really caring that much about it. Now, what impact did it have on the channel? I have no idea. YouTube doesn't even tell you for days on end. So I might not even know if that stream made me a couple extra bucks or not for several days. Okay? So here's what I'm going to do. Being that people didn't seem to be too bothered by it yesterday, I'm going to leave it on conservative ads, all right, on my streams for a bit. And let's see what happens. You know, if I start playing games and it's a constant, very annoying thing and you guys are really annoyed by it, then I will turn it off, all right? But if it's literally not a big deal and it means that it could help the channel, right, and my business, I think we should do it. You guys have been telling me recently you wouldn't mind if I monetized you more as long as it's not intrusive to the content. So if you see a 10-second ad 4 times on a stream, you know, and hundreds of people are doing it and it adds up or whatever, then I don't see the big deal. But yeah, if it is incredibly intrusive and it bothers you, I want you to let me know. All right? I don't want to do a change that you feel is going to be destructive to my content. I refuse to do that. That's why I don't do giant product placements. I don't play games solely because I'm getting paid to play them. I don't do that kind of crap. Okay? So let's see what happens. And I will try turning it on, you know, slowly. We'll see. You know, all these streams, I think right now it won't really affect the streams that much at all. But once we start getting into new releases, right? I start playing Call of Duty. You got Yakuza coming up, the Super Mario RPG. When I start another new game, like, for example, I know you guys are campaigning for me to play a game like Lords of the Fallen and stuff like that, right? When I start playing those games, maybe people it would bother you more. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right? Let's find out. And again, I'm curious of the impact. Does it, because I have this turned on, will it actually benefit anything at all? Well, you know, if it, I'm serious about this now. If it means that I make like $5 extra a day, then what's the fucking point? Right? What is the point? But if it adds up to be something significant over time and, you know, then it makes sense to leave it on, then I'll leave it on. So, let's see. But I'm curious about your feedback. And we may, you know, if we leave it on and it's not intrusive, we may dabble with balanced and see how balanced works out. But here's the thing. If it starts playing non-skippable 30-second to minute long ads, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I see an ad every once in a while is okay, but if you're going to be bombarded constantly with this shit, I don't want that. I don't want it to be like an awful television station or anything like that, okay? So let's see what happens. I've got it on, just to warn you, I've got it on conservative right now, and let's see how it goes. Maybe for Friday, I'll test it on balanced, and we'll see how balanced works, and if it's any different or whatever, and we'll go from there, okay? Okay. So, we're trying that out. Today we do have some gaming news. We'll get to that in a minute. You know, we'll see. So, you know, a couple interesting news stories for sure to cover today. Some of which you might not have heard of. You'll be like, what? Yeah, I know. There's going to be some interesting news today to cover. But I guess what we'll do very briefly here is, well, first of all, I got a bunch of tissues to throw out. It's disgusting. We're going to go through the schedule quick. It's not going to be a big segment or anything like that. I'm trying to think what I actually want to cover today, like what's more important. Oh, of course. Yeah, I'd like to hear about these ads you guys see. Because someone just said, would you like to know about the ads? Yeah, I want to hear what kind of ads are they showing on my streams. Has YouTube, in the last 15 years, learned how to actually divvy out ads properly so they're effective, so my audience sees advertisements that you might be interested in versus, you know, an ad for life insurance or, you know, Barbie dolls or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's always been the problem with YouTube, is they don't know how to divvy out the ads properly. So they're ineffective advertising, and that's why the advertisers leave the site, you know. Okay. The Skilled Scholar says he just got a Tobuscus ad. Now that's a throwback reference. That's a reference to something over a decade ago. That's a good one. You get points for that. You get Fan points for the Tobuscus ad reference today. Very nice. For those who don't know, back in the day, YouTube was getting really bad with ads. Like, there'd be ads for another YouTuber advertising another company's product on your video, and it's a direct competitor. Like, that's what happened. I was putting out gameplay videos, and on my gameplay videos was an ad of Tobuscus advertising his gameplay channel of him playing Madden, and it was an ad for Madden. And I'm like, that's fucking direct competition ad. I don't want that shit on my fucking video, and YouTube shouldn't allow it, and he should know better than to make that kind of fucking ad, because it's bullshit, you know? That's you know, how are you gonna, like, it's like headhunting almost, like you're hunting the viewership from someone else's gameplay channel to somebody else's. Fuck you, right? That's not right. Anyway, so, let's continue. Let's talk about the schedule. All right. So, schedule-wise, today it's all Alan Wake all day. I'm trying to beat the game. I don't know if we will or not. We'll see how far we get, and based on that, you know, we'll determine will there be another Alan Wake stream coming up this weekend to wrap it up or not. Okay. So that's all day today. First stream and second stream should be chill vibes. Should be nice interaction. Should be fun. I'm curious to see how it all ends, so I hope you guys will join me for that as we try to wrap it up. Okay, it's even why I'm wearing my flannel today, my Pacific Northwest flannel, as we wrap up the game. I'm not here tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off, where I do grocery shopping. I shop for pet supplies. I'm out and about doing errands, but I'm also going to spend some time home with my wife. Although I believe my wife is going to try to play Like a Dragon Gaiden, although it's weird, it's not on Game Pass, which is really bizarre. It's just not there, and it's everyone's, you know, it's been said it's on Game Pass. It's a Game Pass game. It's going to be there, and it's just not there. It's not in Game Pass on Xbox. It's not listed in Coming To. It's not anywhere. So she's wondering what's going on, because obviously she wants to play it, and it's not there, and she's not going to buy it when it's on Game Pass, and she has Game Pass. So I don't know why it's not listed there. Usually when a Game Pass game is being added to Game Pass, they have it ahead of time so you can preload it and everything, and it's just not there. So if anyone knows anything about that, if you could share the info. But yeah, like, we don't know what the hell's going on, because it's not there. So hopefully it is there. I mean, for me, it's not a big deal, simply because I'm not playing it on Thursday. You know, it's my day off regardless. And the earliest I'm going to play it is once I wrap up one or two of the games I'm currently playing, so I don't need to play it right away. But for her, that's frustrating, and for all of you, maybe some of you are waiting for Like a Dragon Gaiden on Game Pass. Where is it? I don't know. It ain't there. Are they going to just shadow drop it tomorrow during the day, or will it be there because you can't preload it? I don't understand that. It's always like that on Game Pass. You can always preload the games and everything, and for some reason you can't do it, even though they've outright said yes, it's a Game Pass game. It's not there, so I don't get it. Anyway, so tomorrow, my day off. Hopefully I can recuperate even more. All right, when I come back on Friday, the first stream, the daytime stream, will be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, a full-on 3+ hour stream of multiplayer. We're going to go through and play the base classes, unlock the custom class, start building a custom class with a weapon, leveling up that weapon. I can't wait to see all the different maps, because it's basically all the classic maps from Modern Warfare 2 2009, right? Plus, actually, was it before 2000? No, it was 2009, 2010, right? I can't remember which year it was, but one of those years. And it's going to be, you know, a lot of interaction with you. I'm sure you guys are going to be giving me advice on my builds and everything now that it's the real thing unlocking and everything. So it's going to be great. You guys loved when I played the beta. I can't wait to play the full version starting Friday's daytime stream. Now, Friday night is up in the air, and here's why. If we get close to beating Alan Wake 2 today, but we don't, then I probably want to play it Friday night and beat it. Okay? If we beat Alan Wake 2 today, then I think instead Friday night maybe we'll do some Spider-Man. Okay? Because we're getting close to the end of that as well. We're 11 story missions away, and there's only a little bit of side content left. So arguably maybe 10 more hours of Spider-Man, and it wraps up too. So I think that should be a fun day of variety. And then Saturday, we'll probably do it again. Like, again, I might do more Call of Duty. And then maybe Saturday night we do some Mario. Alright? And then Sunday, of course, is React Day. My first React Day of the new season. We're out of horror now. And then Sunday night, you know, we'll probably do another of one of these games. And we'll alternate all week. Now, I'm not saying that Call of Duty is going to be a daytime stream all the time. But I figure since these are the first few days of the game, it's a good time to jump into it and make it the featured stream. And then after that, that'll become a night stream. And narrative-based games will become daytime streams. Okay? So the goal next week, jump into Modern Warfare 3 and play a lot of the multiplayer, finish up Alan Wake 2, hopefully get really far in and maybe even finish up Spider-Man, and hell, maybe even finish Mario, okay? Then, once we start finishing games, then we could start with Like a Dragon Gaiden, and then the week after that is the Super Mario RPG, which I'll be playing, and then other things as well, as you know. There's other things I have lingering to finish, like Starfield, or we could jump into other games like Lords of the Fallen, or maybe this RoboCop game, or these other things you guys have been asking me for. Then we can consider those, okay? Excuse me. So, there you have it. That's what's going on in the next week to week and a half. Tonight, as long as everything goes according to plan, I will be filming a special review of I keep saying Infamous, Invincible Season 1, which I finished watching the other day, and I like to sit down and just do maybe a 20-minute video discussing what I thought about the entire season and the show as a whole, before I start watching and reviewing Invincible Season 2, which apparently Episode 1 just came out, and I guess Episode 2 is coming up this week, so maybe I'll watch 2 of those episodes and do a double review or something like that. We'll see. So that should be good, and I'm going to open up a thread by which people can start posting up what they want to see me review over the next month or two for that channel, okay? So, no, your super chat did not go unnoticed. I don't shout out until the end of the show. When I'm doing the podcast, this must be a newcomer. When I'm doing my podcast, all contributions I shout out at the end of the show. It's the final segment, okay? So just so you know, so that way I can get through my topics and everything, and I don't forget anything and get distracted, because that's what happens. If I get distracted, I'll totally forget about the stuff I wanted to talk about today, okay? So thank you for the super chat. I will shout it out later on in the show. Okay. Okay, so that's what's going on right now, all right? So, before we get ahead of ourselves, before I forget about stuff, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, and everyone's favorite segment. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a time officially for DSP News here on the Level 1 Podcast. And today, I have 2 interesting news stories to cover for you. The first is regarding Nintendo. After the success, the rousing success of the Super Mario Bros. Movie earlier this year, Nintendo has decided to begin production, you ready for this, on a live-action Legend of Zelda movie from Sony Pictures. Shigeru Miyamoto will produce, Wes Ball will direct, alongside producer Avi Arad. Live-action Zelda. Not 3D, not animation, live-action Zelda. So, who's going to play Link? Who's going to play Zelda? Who's going to play Ganondorf? Right? Who is going to play Navi? Who's going to play the Mask Vendor? Who is going to cut my lawn? So, it's happening. Now, it's probably years out. Especially if it's live action. This movie's going to be years out. It's going to be 3 years minimum, I think, before we'll even see anything concrete about it. Seriously. But, it's interesting. Because what did I say? I said if Mario does well, this will open the floodgates. And Nintendo will now be into movies. And literally that's what's happening. Mario did well, so now they're going to look to all their other big IPs. So once Zelda's done, expect a Mario sequel. Also expect them to try to venture into their other IPs. Metroid. Think about Metroid, how cool that could be. Right? Branching out and having crossover Donkey Kong universe with the Mario universe and stuff like that. Right? I'm foreseeing a Nintendo cinematic universe. For sure. It's happening. It's definitely happening. Because Mario did so well. Okay? So, just expect it. Super Slade says, the first movie will have a top-down perspective, and the sequel will have a side-scrolling view. It'll be very controversial. Here's a little reference for you. Very good. Okay, so, I guess we'll see what's going to happen with this. And I'm sure we'll have more information soon. But if you were interested in will there be more Nintendo movies, the answer is absolutely yes. And Zelda is the next one. Okay? Now, the other big thing. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been absolutely positively confirmed this morning by Rockstar Games. Are you ready for this? Rockstar Games has confirmed that they own your soul because you spent so much money on GTA Online that they actually have the rights to determine where you go in the afterlife. So you better start acting nice, because if you don't, they may send you somewhere you don't want to go. Okay, that is not the story. All right. However, excuse me. The real story this morning is that, I'm just going to read it word for word. We are very excited to let you know in early December we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. So you can unpack this in two ways. Number one, hallelujah! Finally information on GTA 6 that's concrete and real, not leaked information, not bullshit speculation, not a bunch of rumor-mongering nonsense, but actually straight from the horse's mouth, we will have concrete information about GTA 6 finally coming out from Rockstar in early December. Okay? However, I need to reread that statement. Are you ready? We will look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. Many more years. Do you understand? That's why they worded it that way. What they're telling you is that the game is not coming out anytime soon. It's going to be several years of more development before GTA 6 is ready to be sold. So don't expect GTA 6 in 2024. Don't expect GTA 6 in 2025. Don't expect GTA 6 in 2026. Don't expect GTA 6 in 2027. Don't even expect GTA 6. Don't. Okay? Don't do it. At all. Alright? They have to be sure that when this game comes out, that it prints so much money that actual printing presses have to shut down from lack of ink. They want to be sure that they are so rich that they literally don't have to do anything else but sit around and take a shit for the rest of their lives. So they're going to make sure that when this game comes out in 2072, that everything is covered and they are going to be rolling in dough forever. It's the final game. In fact, if they have their way, this will be the last video game of all time. It'll just be a peripherally, just keeps going on. Not peripherally, endlessly going on. You know, no end in sight. It's like GTA Online endlessly. Just keep giving us your money. Just keep doing it. Don't even stop. If you stop giving us money, we suck the oxygen out of your house and you suffocate. In fact, they're going to have it. It's going to be the GTA 6 add-on. It connects to all the air ducts in your house. It's a big unit. And that's the thing. If you stop feeding them money with microtransactions, it sucks all the oxygen out of your house. You see? Now, some people are saying I'm reading far too much into it. Oh, no. I'm not reading far into it enough. Do you understand? If Rockstar had their way, they would have a second fucking head that they would attach to your shoulder, that every moment that you weren't spending money on GTA Online, the head would go, and crash into your own head like this. What money? Die. You guys just don't understand, all right? Why do you think it took them this long to make GTA 6 to begin with? They had to wait a decade for the profit train from GTA Online to dry up. So now they're going to make the game, and they're going to be sure that this is going to be the most profitable video game of all time. So expect 4,000 years of promotion. Expect 4,000 monetization schemes. I'm telling you, you guys just don't get it. You think I'm joking and I'm exaggerating. No. Absolutely not. I'm telling you, this is going to be it. The end-all, be-all video game. After this, there won't need to be any more. Again, you guys say, oh, he's being facetious. He's being exaggerating. No. Do you not get it? They are the most profitable game company because of GTA Online. They're not going to give that up. They're not. So whatever this is, whatever this comes out, understand that this will be the craziest model you'll ever see for any video game. I fully expect full monetization of every aspect of the single player, every aspect of the multiplayer, every aspect of everything will be fully monetized. Okay? So, that's coming. I guess there also was some kind of a Mass Effect teaser. I ended up not seeing it. I forgot. But apparently it's not very overwhelming anyway. It's just like shows like an armor or something, like nothing of any big reveal. So listen, we know they're making a new Mass Effect game, right? We have no idea when it's coming out. We have no idea what it's even going to be. And I'm looking forward to it when it comes out. But until there's concrete information, I'm not really that excited. Much like this announcement, like I don't care. This is the announcement of a trailer. Big deal. Just give us the trailer, right? So anyway, yeah, so I'm not like super excited about the Mass Effect thing because there's nothing to really talk about. Did you guys know there's a new Ghostbusters movie coming and its trailer dropped this morning? Did you know that? I didn't even know that, and then I just stumbled upon the trailer on X app this morning. I was like, oh shit, there's a new Ghostbusters movie. It's called Frozen Empire, and get this, it has all of the remaining Ghostbusters in it. That's right. So Ray Stantz, Peter Venkman, and Winston Zeddemore are all in it as the Ghostbusters. However, it actually is following, supposedly, the plot from Ghostbusters Afterlife, where I guess it's supposed to be like the daughter of Egon and a bunch of kids and Paul Rudd, who are the new Ghostbusters, which I don't know because I didn't see Afterlife. I'm still waiting to see it. And from what I'm going to understand, they just made it available for normal rental digitally. Like I told you guys, I wanted to see it months ago, and it was like, oh, you can only buy it for like $18 or something crazy. I was like, dude, the movie's like 3 years old. I still can't fucking just rent it and watch it. So if this is the case, I think I might watch that movie this month, Ghostbusters Afterlife, to see, because that supposedly is supposed to be the continuation of the Ghostbusters plotline. And now this movie, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, is supposed to be Ghostbusters 3. Like, that's what they're saying. Like, that movie was to bridge the gap between the past and the present, and now Frozen Empire is actually Ghostbusters 3. That's why it has the original Ghostbusters and these new Ghostbusters in it, and that's fascinating to me. Because as you know, I used to tell you guys this all the time. I was a huge fan of Ghostbusters. I mean, Ghostbusters 1 and 2 are probably the movies I've seen the most as a kid. I watched the shit out of them over and over and over, and I loved them. And then Ghostbusters just died for the longest time, and then all of a sudden it came back in 2016 with the insanely bad reboot, starring an all-female cast, one of the worst movies ever made, supposedly. I don't know, because to this day, I still refuse to watch it, because just the trailers are so fucking bad. But then, you know, with this Afterlife, I heard it's really good, but the problem is Afterlife came out during COVID. So when it came out during the COVID era, you know, you couldn't go to the theaters to see it, and for some reason, this movie is flubbed around digital distribution and never been actively available to just rent and watch. So I'm waiting for it to be available to either watch on demand for free on one of these services, or to be like a cheap rental for a few bucks, and it looks like it may actually be available as a cheap rental now. Okay? So, yeah, pretty cool. And I'm excited. The trailer looked good, except I'll say this. All right? CGI out the ass. Like insane amounts of CGI out the ass. I guess the premise of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is that there's some kind of a ghost ship or ghost invasion of New York City coming from the ocean, and it freezes the entire city in the middle of July. And no one was expecting it. It comes in from the ocean, and it's like, what the hell? And I guess now it's up to the Ghostbusters to figure out what the hell this is, and, you know, what ghost entity is this invading New York, and can they stop it? But it's a combination of the old Ghostbusters and this new group of up-and-coming Ghostbusters teaming up to solve this, I guess. Which could be a really neat premise, but I didn't see Afterlife. See, when I see all the stuff from Afterlife, it makes me think like it's just Stranger Things. Because isn't the kid from Stranger Things in it? So it makes me feel like they tried to turn Ghostbusters into Stranger Things. And I like Stranger Things, but I don't want Ghostbusters to become a group of kids. It's supposed to be about adults, businessmen, trying to run a business in a paranormal thing with comedy and everything. So I don't know how that's going to translate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it even does translate. But again, I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen Afterlife. So without having seen the movie, I can't really state much about what I think. So maybe that's one of the movies I should see this month, is Ghostbusters Afterlife, if it's available somewhere, and finally review it. That'd be pretty cool. And so this movie, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, is coming out in the spring, it says. So there you go. That is the news for today, everybody. And if you could bear with me, since my cold continues, I do need to blow my nose now. So if you bear with me for a second, I'll mute the mic, go blow my nose, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Sorry. I have to keep doing this all day. This stupid cold won't go away. It's incredibly frustrating, and I apologize for it. But it lingers, okay? Alright, so, that covers, like, the topics I wanted to talk about. Now, we have some time. First of all, we have shout-outs to do, and I want to do the shout-outs. But in addition to that, we have time. I don't know if we want to do Q&A today, if we want to do the suggestion box. Like, we have all these different things we can do on the show. I think we should do shout-outs first. Let's do shout-outs, and then we'll get to the other stuff, okay? So it's an option today. So, okay. So, first of all, on the YouTube side of stuff this morning, we start off with an anonymous £2 super chat. And someone asked, any chance for Baldur's Gate 3? I've already answered this a million times. It's not out of the question. But I've already tried a game similar to that in Divinity Original Sin 2. It didn't work. I played it for 60 freaking hours, and everyone, including the biggest diehard fans of the game, got bored. It takes too long to get through. It's too time consuming. It's the kind of game that you need to be completely immersed in the world. If you're playing it as the only game for a month, yeah, then it works and it's a superb game. But if it's a game that you're balancing with many other games and you're only playing 2-3 sessions a week and you're barely making progress because the game is such a slow trickle style content like these games tend to be, it doesn't really work. It ends up not being entertaining. It ends up being boring and people get disappointed. And that's exactly what happened with Divinity Original Sin 2. People got bored, and after 60 hours I stopped playing it, and I feel like I wasted all that time. I wasted months of gameplay that I could have been doing other things because the game doesn't fit the format of the content that I do. Do you understand? Just to give you perspective, right now, we're in the midst of 3 of the hottest games of the fall. Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And even those games, the hottest games of the fall, the viewers are complaining it takes too long to get through them. Why are you still playing Spider-Man? It's been out for 3 weeks. Why are you still playing Alan Wake 2? The game's almost 2 weeks old. You're not done yet? Yeah, the games are 30 hours long. That's how long it takes to get through them when you're a variety streamer and you balance a bunch of games. So, if I were to play Baldur's Gate 3, you're talking a commitment of months upon months. You're not talking, oh, you'll just play it and beat it in a week. This is going to be me playing Baldur's Gate 3. January, February, March, April, May, maybe finish it in June. While balanced with all the other games. Who the hell's going to wait for that? I hate to say it, but these ultra long games, they don't fit my format. They just don't. Okay? It sucks, but that's just the case. My format of balancing games is not equipped to handle 80-hour plus games. Alright? And the few times that I do tough through it and I try it, it always does the same thing. After like a month, all the interest fails and ends up being the slowest stream I do for months on end, but I commit to finishing it because I've already put so much time into it. And people endlessly complain, why are you still playing it? Right? So, that's why. Alright? Just being honest. I don't think it would ever work. I'm just giving you from my own personal experience of what I've seen in my content and on my streams, we've tried games like this before. They don't work. Now, I'm not going to 100% be pig-headed and be like, no, there's no circumstance we'll ever play it. I'm just telling you, I don't think that it's going to work at all. Okay? All right. Continuing on. Bloom Kit did a super chat. He says, I think I caught what you had. Now I'm dead. Well, if you're dead, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I don't know if it's a flu going around, if it was COVID that I had. I don't know. Well, just prepare. Those first, like, 4 or 5 days, you're going to feel awful. Like, really significantly bad. And then once the initial waves of pain all over your body and being sick to your stomach and not being hungry because you can't taste anything and insane head pressure that makes you delirious, once that's gone, now you're going to have a week and a half of lingering cold symptoms that won't go away. Because that's what I've got, and I can't shake them. It's so annoying. I wish you the best, though. Then Bloomkid did a super chat. He says, Chris Pratt for Zelda. You want Chris Pratt to play Zelda? Wow. I was going to say maybe Chris Pratt is Link, but you want Chris Pratt as Zelda. Now, that's some interesting casting. I guess he'd have to do some of this character acting, see how he does in it, right? There you go. Very interesting. Derek popping his 15-month re-upping of his membership, and he says, I am posting advertisements, please do. Everyone, the adpocalypse is upon us. It is coming up at the end of this month, the 24th, all right? That is Black Friday in the United States, and that is the day we're doing the adpocalypse marathon. So roughly, what, 2 weeks? Give or take, 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks away. So you still have time. Please post up these advertisements for me to watch during the show. If you're a member, you're in luck, you get priority, and there's a members-only thread on the members tab of this channel right now where you can post up ads. If you're not a member, type !adpocalypse in the chat, and please post up your ads there. The more ads, the better. The show's going to be great. We did it last year. People absolutely loved it. This is the first marathon I'm doing in many, many months because of everything going on. So it's going to be a very fun special event, and I can't wait to do it with all of you. Thanks in advance, and please keep nominating. Okay. Bloom Kid with a super chat. Afterlife was good. I can't wait for the new one. I want to see Afterlife. I really do. Spawn Killer with a super chat. I wish they would make a new bully. Me too. I think we all would love a new bully, right? And it doesn't have to be, elementary school. It could be like college or something. I don't know. I think it would make sense to them to make a new one eventually. Okay. And then Spawn Killer just did another super chat. He says, I'm making barbecue shredded pork. This should be delicious. Sounds good. I like slow-cooked meats, of course. It's absolutely delicious, so hopefully you made a good one there. And the channel has received 10 gifted memberships from Hindenburger. So congratulations to anyone who got one. I'm going to scroll up and see if I can see it, but I think at this point it might have... oh, no, here we go. So congratulations to the following people. Cleo, Uno Nuno, 90s Guy, Gavin, Amplitory, Sweets, UFC Chad, Rugel Bernstein, J-Rocker Chris, and X Coca. Congratulations to all of you on getting those gifted memberships. This helps the channel a lot, so thank you very much to Hindenburger for helping. Now, I actually got a request, all right, to talk about something this morning. And I was on the fence about talking about it, but since this is happening right now, I feel like I should, okay? So, you may have noticed, right, in the last month, a significant dip in memberships on this channel. And this has happened for two very, very interesting reasons. Number one, because typically we get some generous people who come to the channel and give memberships. And it's always someone different. It's not always the same person every month. Even though there are some recurring people who come back from month to month and will give memberships. It's not always the same people. I would argue there's like 10, 20 people who regularly will come by every once in a while and give some memberships to the channel. Last year, we had someone come by, if you remember, and they gifted hundreds of memberships to the channel. And we actually had a record high. I want to say we were at like 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 members at one point last year, which is actually why we have so many emotes unlocked on the channel, despite the fact that I don't have many members. It's because of that crazy spike that we had last year. We never lost the emote spots, okay? Now, how do gifted memberships work? It's based on how often you actually watch this channel and it's based on engagement. So if you watch a lot, if you talk a lot, you're going to have a much higher increased chance to get a gifted membership than, say, a newcomer. Do you see? But the more you hang out and the more you watch and the more you engage with chatting and liking the videos and liking the content and stuff like that, YouTube has an algorithm that increases your chances of getting a gifted membership. So what you might notice is when we get these gifted memberships, a lot of the times they go to regulars. You're like, oh, why does the regular always get it? That's exactly why. Okay? Now, you don't even have to be in the chat to get it. You could be a regular and not be here, and you're still apt to get that gifted membership over somebody else. So it definitely benefits you to be a regular, engaging and supporting person here in the chat. You know what I mean? But I will say this. What ends up happening is when you get people who are regular gifters, sadly, there's people who like the content, who watch it all the time, but they tend to say, oh, you know what? Well, I'm just going to wait because I feel like someone's just going to come and give memberships. And when they do, I'm just going to get one because I'm a regular, right? So what ends up happening is these people sit around waiting. And if we get an extended period of time where people don't come by and give memberships, the memberships dwindle to tons, all right? And that's exactly what's happened in this last month is my attendance and viewership and everything on my streams was great. Overall, if you take a look, everything's fine. You know, it's not like, oh my God, in the month of October, Phil had a giant fall off. That didn't happen. What ended up happening was the regulars are just kind of sitting here watching and just hoping for gifted memberships. And that's, I hate to say it, not a very good mindset to have because you have to understand something here. This is my hobby. It's what I absolutely love to do for a living. It's my lifelong passion is video games and hanging out and enjoying them and sharing my opinions on them. You know, this has been an awesome 15-year ride on YouTube, okay? But it's also my business. And I put out free content every single day for people. And you would think that if you're someone who's here all the time and you're watching the content all the time and you're enjoying it literally for free because it's free. There's no paywall here. None of this content requires you to pay for access. You see? Well, you would think that if you like that content and you want to see it continue, that you would consider becoming a channel member here on the channel, even though if it costs you a few bucks a month. It's not expensive. A membership is less than $4 a month. Did you know that? That's cheaper than Twitch. It's cheaper than the competitors. It's three something a month, like $3.99 or something like that. And the memberships are consistent support that help this channel. All right? And I feel what's happened is a lot of people just have become dependent. Oh, I'm just going to get a free one. That's an awful mentality to have. Because if we're all just sitting around for the same 10, 15 people to give memberships, you might just sit around for months. What if these people aren't available? What if they just don't want to contribute right now? And that's what's happened. Is we went from a point where every month we had 5, 6, 7, 800 members. And now we're down to 400, barely maintaining 400. And everyone's just sitting around, oh, well, I know someone's going to come gift. No, you don't. No, you actually don't. And if you're here every day and you're enjoying the content, please support it. This is probably the cheapest way to support the content, and you get a bunch of stuff out of it. You get access to emotes. You get a chat crown badge to show how long you're supporting. You get to talk as much as you want in chat with absolutely no limitations whatsoever on how much you talk when there's a live stream. There's no slow mode or anything for you, right? You get priority for special events. Now, it sucks that the Halloween event didn't happen, but the Adpocalypse is coming up. You get priority to get your ads watched during the Adpocalypse. You're going to get priority during the Christmas event coming up. It makes sense. It's a few bucks, you know? So, if anything, of all the things you think that you go out of your way to support the channel, probably the best value for the buck is the membership. So then why would you sit around and say, I'm just going to wait for someone to gift memberships? It doesn't make sense. Because what happens is that hurts me. Like, look what happened in October. A lot of people were just sitting around waiting for the gifting that never happened. And a lot of people were expecting that it was going to happen during the Halloween event. There was no Halloween event because I was sick. So now it sets us back so far because people were just sitting around waiting. That's not the attitude to have. Again, especially because I know people are watching the content. It's not that, oh, well, it's just, people are taking a break from the content. No, you guys are here. You guys are here enjoying and watching. But too many people are just sitting back now and saying, I'm just going to wait, give me the gift, give me the gift, give me the gift. It's not a very good attitude to have. All right, especially during this holiday season. Now's the time for giving, right? To give, not to receive. Now's the time that people should say, hey, I like Phil's content. It's great. I want to support the community a lot. I want to be the gifter. Not the receiver, but the giver. That's this time of year, Good time to think about it that way, okay? So, please consider it. And I'm going to be honest, I see people who come into the chat and literally say stuff, the first words out of their mouth is, hey, anyone gifting memberships today? Literally not a single person who ever attends one of my streams should say that in the chat. If you attend a stream and you're lucky and someone's being generous and someone's being nice to the community and they hand out memberships and you get one, you should be grateful. Wow, thank you so very much. You gave me a gift. That is so nice of you and I'm appreciative of it. No one should be coming into the chat asking for a gift. What? Huh? Is that really how it works? You walk in asking for gifts. No. If you're lucky enough to receive a gift, then you're grateful. You're not expectant of it or expecting it. That's ridiculous, right? So please don't act like that. I've seen people like that. It's like, wow, you want to talk about completely the opposite of the Christmas spirit? That's exactly what the opposite of the Christmas spirit. You know what I'm saying? So please don't do that. All right. And again, if you're someone who watches the content all the time, now would be the time to say, hey, maybe I want to support it. I see that the gifted memberships aren't happening for whatever reason. Maybe the people who usually do them, they're not around on the regular, all right? Or they just can't do it right now, and that's fine. Because you notice, if you haven't noticed, I'm not sitting here and calling out names and saying, so-and-so who always gives memberships, I don't know where you are, come back and give memberships, what's wrong with you? Am I doing that? No. Because that's not how you behave. It's so ungrateful. That's so, you deserve the world. You don't deserve shit. And on this planet, right, you work your butt off, and sometimes you get rewarded for it, and sometimes you don't. Life's not fair, right? In general, I've been very lucky. In a 15-year run I've had on YouTube, most of the time people support me enough that I can make a good living, and I can continue to do what I love. My passion is my job. Do you know how rare that is? So how ungrateful would it be to sit here and start calling out names and demanding that these people who've gifted memberships come back and gift them? So if I'm not going to do that, why would you? Why would you come to the chat and start, oh, where's the gifters? Where's the gifters? How about where's the door and here's my foot on your ass as you leave it for the last time? Because that's the most ridiculous attitude to have, especially during this holiday season. All right? It's just it's unacceptable. Okay. So, please consider contributing and supporting the content if you like it. But please don't come in here with the expectation of anything. Right? I don't. It's great when I get support, but I don't expect it, nor can I demand it, right? That's the nature of the beast when it comes to content creation. So if I can't demand it, you can't either, right? But that's what's going on. Is, if you haven't noticed, in the last month, a lot of the gifters, the people who come by and regularly gift the memberships, have not been around or can't gift right now, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We got to hope in the expectation that things will turn around and will get better as we get closer, especially to the holidays and all these, different games that we'll be playing and all of that. But I do see this bad attitude that's kind of being passed around, and it's disturbing. It is. It's disturbing to see people acting like that. No one should be acting like that. And again, if you're a regular and someone who watches this content on a daily basis and you're not getting a gifted membership, if you think about getting it yourself, it's a few bucks. It's just a few dollars, and you get good benefits out of it, and it supports this channel, and you don't have to sit here wondering when people will gift again, right? So there you go. All right. Let's continue. It looks like, so by the way, Hindenburger, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. That helps the channel a lot, and I really appreciate that. Okay? Spawn Killer did another super chat. So my family member has COVID and it sucks. Yeah, it does. If that's what I had, all right, it sucks. It really does. Like, it absolutely was terrible. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. It very well could have been the flu I had too. I don't know. But certainly when you looked at some of the symptoms that I had, like losing my ability to taste for several days, that seems to be in line with COVID. So I don't know. Okay. So, all right, let's continue on. I wish your family member the best, Spawn Killer. Thank you for the super chat. Jay Davis just did a super chat. Says, keep being you, keep doing what you love. Thank you very much, Jay Davis. That's what I plan on doing. Like I said, okay, oh, that's right. That is a topic that I wanted to talk about this morning. Let's address this quickly. Okay. All right. Let's very quickly address something that's been going on recently. All right. Now, if you haven't noticed, this year, I made an absolutely concerted effort to stay out of drama. Earlier this year, I got goaded into an interview that at face value looked like it was going to be fair, and then immediately when the interview ended, it became completely unfair, and it became a big attack against me for personal gain. It was fucked up the way it happened, and I told you guys that I learned my lesson. I wasn't going to involve myself with drama and all this other shit anymore for the rest of the year. I wanted to pull you guys out of that drama, correct? That's what I told you, and that's been my goal. About a month after that, I got contacted behind the scenes by Boogie, or a representative of Boogie, about wanting to do a podcast together. And I said, why not? Why wouldn't we do that? As long as it's something positive that we're working on together, and we do a show together and we talk about topics, and it seems like it would be constructive and positive for our audiences, I'm totally okay with it. Sounds good to me. Especially if there's no Keemstar involvement, because I don't want to be involved with that toxic jerk, because all he wants to do is create drama, and that's not what I'm about, right? I'll be involved in that, all right? Within a month of that happening, what happens? Boogie and Wings, who are involved, decide they want a payday. So instead of actually, being men about it, they turn around completely on what they said and offered, what they wanted to do, and they decide that they want to work with Keemstar to make money. So they did. So they did their stupid fight, which was a complete joke, and they were supposed to do a podcast with Keemstar. That's completely fallen through and is never going to happen. What a big surprise that they went with the toxic guy and it all fell apart. What a shocking twist that this would happen. Like, there was totally no signs that doing business with Keemstar would blow up in their face and not work out for them, right? There's no way they could have possibly known that. Unbelievable, right? So anyway, after all that complete nonsensical stuff, okay, going on, I outright told you guys, I want no involvement with these people ever again, because they're not trustworthy. These are people who will say one thing and then do another, as long as it basically in the short term gives them some kind of personal gain. There's a saying from Final Fantasy VI. I heard he'd slit his mama's throat for a nickel. Some people are like that. Some people for short-term gain, they will literally do whatever they possibly can, and it doesn't matter who they hurt, who they screw over, who they treat like dirt. During that time period, you had guys like Boogie going on social media slandering me. When have I ever said a negative word about Boogie? Right? But he was going on social media insulting me publicly, and people were telling me about it. I was like, I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to clap back. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to ignore it all, and I'm going to continue on this year with my content, with my positivity, and it worked. I had so much to do this year. The premiere of Street Fighter 6, and me getting back into competitive fighting games, and me reinvigorating that gaming content and everything. It went well. So I didn't need drama this year. I didn't need to do drama content. I didn't need to do any of that shit. Things went well this year, okay? And I'm happy, because that's the thing. I can stand on my own laurels and say, I did not have to stoop to the level that these other people had to do. If you're a content creator, and the only way that you can be pertinent or relevant is drama. If someone else has a bad day, you're having a good day. If the only time anyone really tunes into your content is because you're creating drama, you're not a content creator. You understand? You're not. You have nothing of value to add to this universe. You're just a fucking fart. And you're going to eventually clear away and no one will smell you anymore, right? I strove this year to prove that I had value, because the content that I make has value to my core audience. The gameplay, the React style stuff that I'm doing, I'm staying away from drama. Do you understand? On purpose. I want nothing to do with it. I just want to make gameplay, to chill with you guys, to do some fun React stuff every once in a while for good variety, and that's it. Do not want to be involved with these people whatsoever. I don't want to be roped into their nonsense. Do you understand? And I've done so much this year to do that, all right? And I hope that you guys understand that I've worked very hard this year to stay out of it, all right? So one thing that's happening now, I guess supposedly, there's some documentary out there about Boogie that just came out. And people are like, oh, let's talk about it in Phil's chat. And let's fucking talk about, because Wings of Redemption watched it and reacted to it. And he got extra views on his channel and shit like that. Okay, I don't care. I don't care about these people. Do you not understand? I couldn't care less about these people. They had their chance to actually be considered as like nice, rational people. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. They treated me like shit for personal gain. So they can get fucked. And I don't give two shits what happens to them. And I don't care about how many documentaries are made about them. I don't give a fuck if they got launched off of this planet in a cannon and we never saw them again. It doesn't matter. They are completely non-connected to me in any way. I have nothing to do with them. I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to watch documentaries about them. I want nothing to do with it at all. Do you understand? Because I've been getting now messages from people, well, if Wings reacted to the documentary, is Phil going to react to the documentary? Because he totally should do that, because he'll get lots of extra views and money. And no. It's called drama. It's called the lowest end of the lowbrow content. All it will do is stir up more negativity, more toxicity from a community that I don't want to appeal to. No, I want nothing to do with my detractors. Nothing to do with these lolcow morons who actually think that they have some benefit to people on Earth. They don't. Again, anyone in these weirdo communities, these fringe communities, oh, let's make someone's life miserable so we can laugh at them. If these people vanished from Earth, if there was a rapture of anyone into lolcow culture right now, this planet would be a better place. Do you understand that? It's sad, but it's true. These are people who waste their entire lives and efforts to make other people's lives miserable so they can laugh at it. They need to do that to feel good about themselves because they're so miserable themselves. So I don't need to appeal to the scum of the earth. I don't need to make drama content for them. If I dropped everything I was doing today, I said, you know what? Forget Alan Wake 2. Today, we're watching the Boogie documentary, and I'm going to react to it all day. I would get attendance, I would get contributions, I would get a big spike in viewership. And here's what would happen. Number one, it would be incredibly short-lived. It wouldn't benefit this channel or anyone else in my community at all. It would be complete opposite. It would bring toxicity. It would bring that element to the channels. They would want to be here all the time. They would want to derail the content. They would want to make it toxic and bad. I don't want that. Number two, it would set me back on my positive stuff. I would be even further behind in the content that I like to make. I would be further behind in games, further behind in vlogging, further behind in everything that I do. Do I want to do that for temporary personal gain? No. Just like I don't want to take $50,000 from Keemstar to be on his piece of shit podcast that never would have happened because the guy's a fucking idiot and doesn't know how to run a business. I don't want to have any involvement with any of these fucking idiots because I know how bad and toxic it is. That's why I want to be isolated from it. I don't want my community involved in it. I don't want to be involved in it. That's been my goal this whole year. Do you understand? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to pull myself out of the toxicity. And so stop bringing it up. I don't need to hear about, there's a new documentary about one of these fucking idiots. I don't care about them at all. I couldn't care less about them. They had their chance to act like normal humans. They took the wrong choices and now they're paying for it in droves. You make your bed and you sleep in it, right? That's what you got to do. So I'm here and I'm able to sit here and play games and have fun and enjoy myself. And do what I do for a living and love it. And I can sleep at night. I don't have to worry about the fact that every moment that I put out content that I'm hurting someone by doing it, and I'm making money by tearing down others and making toxic shit. I don't have to do a react to a toxic documentary or a negative documentary about someone to make a buck. I don't have to do any of that shit. Do you understand how good that makes me feel? That I don't have to do toxic shit to get ahead? That I can be a positive dude and I control my own destiny? That's the difference between me and those people. They don't control their own destiny. They're either toxic or no one cares. They have zero relevance. I actually have relevance to my audience. I built relevancy. I had 15 years of building relevancy where I can make content for people who want it and will support it. So I don't have to do that shit. Nor will I ever stoop to that level. Alright? Every once in a while, is it good to break stuff up? Yes, it is. Every once in a while, is it okay to react to a documentary like that? Sure. But not in the middle of the fucking busiest gaming season of the year, right? This is completely pointless. I don't care that someone released a documentary now. I don't give two fucks. It has nothing to do with me. I don't want to hear about it in my chat. I don't want people telling me about it. I want people asking me about it. I want nothing to do with that toxic shit. I've severed that cord this year on purpose so that we're not, and when I say we, I mean us as a community. It's not just about me. Guys have to understand that too. This is not just about me. This is about us. Because every moment that I involve myself with those people, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a business proposition, whether it's a documentary react, whatever it is, you guys get negatively affected. You get dragged down into it too. How many people told me for 2 months after that fucking interview earlier this year, man, Phil, that was the worst choice you ever made because now we all had to put up with it for 2 months. And it's, and you're right. Because as much as that interview served a purpose, because it did, if you guys haven't noticed something, since that interview happened, it actually served its purpose. What was the purpose? Now, anyone who wants to talk about that stupid, toxic bullshit, the mobile game fabricated nonsense, go watch the interview. And believe me or not, in that interview, I don't care, but at least it's all in one spot. You don't have to come to my streams to bug me about it anymore. And it worked. Have you guys noticed that? People don't come to the streams to talk about that drama anymore. It's done. The interview served its purpose and ended that line of discussion, and we don't have to talk about it anymore because it's already been discussed. And even other people, I told you, what's that guy's name? Mudahar, some ordinary gamers. He came to me behind the scenes and he offered me $5,000 this year to do an interview talking about it. I said, no, I don't need your money. I don't need your time. I've already talked about it. We're done. That was the whole point. I'm not going back to the same ground and retreading it a millionth time to give you the same answers. You're wasting everyone's time. You're barking up the wrong tree. And that was the end of him, and he has no interest in talking to me ever again because all he wants to talk about is drama. You see? So there you go. So, I don't have to pay attention to that nonsense. So, very simply put, don't involve me in it. Don't bring it up. Want nothing to do with any of their toxic shit. And if I see it in the chat, I'm going to kick your ass out. I don't care about the Boogie documentary. I don't care about what Wings is doing. I don't care about what Keemstar said. I don't care about what this one farted today. I don't care about this one has a wart on his face. I don't give two fucks about any of them. None of them are pertinent. Do you understand? Let me explain in the plainest possible terms. Okay? None of those people are pertinent to us. None of them. They have nothing to do with us. They want to be involved with us so very badly. That's why. When you are someone who refuses to be involved in something, you will notice that everyone will want you involved. Why do you think I'm the hot commodity that they wanted on the podcast, and I was the linchpin that was going to make that podcast work and all of that? Because when you are in demand and you refuse to stoop to that level, all of a sudden you're the most in demand person. Right? They want it. They want us in there involved. But fuck them. They don't deserve our time and attention. Us, not just me. This is about us. Us as a community. They don't deserve our time and attention. None of them deserve a single moment of our time. Every moment that we avoid them and we do other things is more positive, more productive, and more important to the human condition than anything that we could do involving them. Get it? We're better than that. We don't have to waste our time on them. So ignore them. Seriously, ignore that nonsense. I know there will be videos about this. There will be trash. We are better than that. We don't have to waste time on that trash. Okay? We always will be better than that. You understand? As long as we stay out of it. So I will stay out of it. I've committed to you guys earlier this year. Man, let me tell you guys, it's hard. It's fucking hard. Because they try all the time to drag me into their shit. Constantly. They try every possible tactic. Maybe I'll try to be friendly to him today. Maybe I'll talk shit about him today. Maybe I'll name drop him over here. We'll make a video about, we'll do this, we'll do that. And thankfully, I have done a really good job this year staying out of it. And I think a lot of people are grateful for that, right? Again, as much as it would be personally in the short term beneficial to this channel and to my business to do that drama content, I refuse. I don't see the actual benefit of stooping to that level and wasting all of our time doing it, okay? So please, don't mention it. I don't care about it. Ignore it. You want to know, I always tell everyone, here's the best way, right? Here's the absolute best way to go about this. You come to my streams every day. We relax. We interact. We play games. We talk. That's it. pay no attention to any of the white noise outside of this stream, because I don't. I literally don't. Today, I couldn't know if anyone even mentioned me today, because I don't pay attention. I don't, I'm sure there's a million videos about me being sick and all these insane conspiracy theories about it. I haven't seen a single one. I don't care. Just ignore all of it. Just sit here and watch the content and ignore all the white noise. You see it in your related videos. Oh my God, here's a slander video. Block, block, not interested, block, block. Shut it all out. It's all nonsense. It's all idiots trying to pull us into their drama for their own benefit, and they don't deserve our time and attention. So fuck them. Every one of them. All right? Again, I really tried to be a nice guy this year to people. I tried to reach out and branch out and even do a collab. They slapped me in the face for their own personal gain. Now they can live with their decisions. Fuck them. All right? We're better than that. Okay. Let's continue. So Jay Davis actually became a member as well. Thank you very much, Jay Davis. I appreciate that. And that, I believe, does count as a membership. I can't really tell, but I'll count it anyway. Thank you, Jay Davis. All right. And Spawn Killer did another super chat and says, it's sad the new Call of Duty campaign's only 4 hours. They're always 4 or 5 hours. They're always short. But I don't know why people are freaking out about it, because they haven't been good for a while, in my opinion. You know, they haven't been that big of a deal. So, okay. Now we move over to tips. Although I'm seeing a ton of $1 tips, which could be troll tips, we'll see. First one is not. It's an anonymous dollar tip, Burger King or McDonald's. If I had the choice, if I was hungry, and I was choosing between the two, I would choose Burger King. I love the Whopper, and I think that the Whopper is one of the best consistent fast food burgers out there. Even though it's not the best, it's consistent. It really hasn't changed. My entire life, the Whoppers remain the same. I also like Burger King onion rings, even though they're not great. I think they're better than most fries that you could get at any of these fast food places. If I go to McDonald's, I would usually get like a single cheeseburger or the quarter pounder with cheese, even though it's insanely greasy, or McNuggets. But I would probably choose the Whopper over all of those. So there's your answer. Okay. An anonymous tipper is asking, how many ads could someone submit for the adpocalypse? I am not putting a limit. I'm not putting a limit. You can submit as many as you think appropriate. I'm not going to necessarily watch them all. What we're probably going to do is we're going to treat it like we do DSP versus the internet, where I'll watch all the member submissions, but if you're just a standard viewer, I might just do like a randomized playlist and watch them in a random order. But the more the merrier. Seriously, if we have 20 more times ads in the playlist than we could watch, that's better than not having enough. So go to town. Okay? There you go. Okay? That's completely false. See, here we go. I got a dollar tip. Someone says, oh, you started drama with LTG a few months ago. How could you call someone a misery broker? I didn't start drama with LTG. I did a very small 10 minute segment on this very podcast, where all I did is I said I was watching his stream and I have some interesting questions because I've never seen him before, and I have questions about it. All right? People sent him that out of context. He took it as an insult, and he literally went on a rant insulting my looks and all this shit about me on his stream. He's the one who caused the drama with me. I literally didn't say a negative thing about the guy. Apparently, he thought I did because he's an idiot and didn't pay any attention to what actually was said. He's the one who started it. He opened the Pandora's box. He's the one who bitched out. He's the one who's the fucking asshole, not me. So fuck him. And fuck you for bringing it up because you're completely wrong. Very nice. Okay. What? I didn't click this. What? Hold on. I never clicked this. I clicked on something and it opened up a completely different menu. What the fuck? Stupid. Anyway. Okay. I received a $25 tip from 1 Minute Man. Thank you very much to 1 Minute Man. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate your daily support of all of my content. And yes, with that tip actually now it gets rid of that stupid chargeback I got overnight. I mentioned this at the beginning of the show today, that I got another about $20 in chargebacks overnight from that same person who I got $100 of chargebacks from yesterday. I got $20 more chargebacks overnight. I mean, the good news about that is it sounds to me like it's tapering off now. Like, this is probably it. Maybe there's like one or two more straggler tips, but probably all the major ones now have been covered, and hopefully it won't keep negatively affecting me. So thank you, 1 Minute Man, again, for your daily support of everything I do, no matter where it is, no matter what I'm doing. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. By the way, I gotta blow my nose again. Please give me a second here, guys. I'll be right back. This cult has to end at some point. It's ridiculous. Thank you to Bloom Kit for his super chat. He says the Ghost Pepper Whopper is the greatest. Did I ever have the Ghost Pepper Whopper? You know, I know I had the Halloween Whopper years ago. That was the one that was like black color. But I don't know if I ever had the Ghost Pepper Whopper. I don't know. I just don't believe that Burger King is going to pump out anything of a gourmet level. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's spicy, it's probably not like a good spice. It's probably like a crappy, burn-your-mouth, cheap spice flavor. You know what I mean? But I haven't had it, so I don't know. I don't think I did I? I'm pretty sure I did not have a Ghost Pepper Whopper. You know, but maybe I did. Okay. It's pretty mid, says Adam Outlaw. Oh, yeah, it's mid. All right. So, guys, guess what? We didn't have time for suggestions today. Once again, we had enough to do on the show. No time for the suggestions box. All right. But if you guys have any topics here you'd like to talk about quickly and you want to tag me in the chat, I got a couple extra minutes for Q&A. You'll be in and out today, Jade? All right, cool. Hope you feel better. Very good. Goldfish says, you ever go out for Whopper Wednesdays? I don't even know what that is. Was it like a special discount on a Wednesday for a Whopper? No, I'm not even aware of that. It's a colored burger from McDonald's. What was? Not the Whopper. The sequel to Nickelodeon Smash Clone is good. I don't care. I'm not playing it. What did I love about Creepy Crawlers? The commercials. Just this song. Creepy Crawlers. And they would have like all these lyrics and stuff. That's what was funny. Like, I never owned Creepy Crawlers, but I thought the commercials were always fun as hell. You could hear it across the house. Like, you'd be, like, in the kitchen doing something, and on the TV you'd hear, Creepy Crawlers! Or you'd be, like, across the house, like, sweeping the floor, and you hear, Creepy Crawler! You'd be in the bathroom, on the other side of the house, with the door closed, and you're taking the biggest, most explosive shit ever. It's like, and between the turds you hear, Creepy Crawlers! It was just so notable. That's why. I remember it. No, I'm not playing the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. Whopper Wednesdays was a big discounted Whoppers in your region. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't remember Diet Dr. Pepper ads, no. It's best to download Modern Warfare 3 as soon as possible. You have to download Call of Duty HQ. It's a very large file size. No, I'm going to do tomorrow or tonight. Like I said, I have to drop. It's like $50, which sucks. I really don't have the money right now, but it's a new game. I have to get it. So I'm going to get it tonight. I'm going to buy it and then preload. I know it's huge. Like over 200 gigs for this fucking thing, right? But I'll get it going. Don't worry, it'll be loaded by Friday. You don't have to worry about that. No, I don't really like hard candies. Never really did. Never was a big hard candy fan, no. Oh, the Diet Dr. Pepper ads is a little guy who would sing I'm a Sweet One. Wasn't that, isn't that like, from a guy from American Idol or something, that guy? I think it is, right? I think it's supposed to be like, that's what he does now. He's just an ad campaign for Diet Dr. Pepper. The guy from American Idol, that's what he went on to do. Have I ever been kept up at night haunted by something embarrassing from the past? When I was young, all right, and I was, you know, when you're young and you do dumb things, you make mistakes, yes. I'm serious. Like, when I was in my 20s, sometimes I would you know, have problems sleeping at night, wondering, did I make a mistake? Did I do something bad in my life or something like that? But I have no skeletons in my closet. I don't. I have nothing, like, everything that I've ever done that was, like, heinous or bad, I've talked about publicly. You guys know all about my most embarrassing things that have happened in my life. There's literally nothing hidden about me or anything. You know, there's nothing to open out and air out. There's nothing there at all. So, no, like, I'm not worried at night about horrible things from my past. No, zero fears of anything like that. I sleep soundly at night. You don't have to worry about that. Do you remember the Taco Bell dog? No, oh, you mean the Yokiro Taco Bell dog? Yes. I thought you meant the Taco Bell hot dog. I was like, no, they had a hot dog. Would I ever do anime content on DSP Reacts? Let me put it this way. I'm not against it. All right. However, okay. The problem there is anime content typically on YouTube has always had issues. These anime companies in particular don't understand the concept of fair use. They don't. In Japan, I guess the laws are different, and most of these companies are based in Japan. So even people who just do reviews, seriously, people who just do a fair review, where they're just reviewing an anime, and they might have a few clips of the anime in it, they get stricken down and shut down on YouTube. It's like, but that's completely fair use. It's just a fucking review, and even they get treated badly. So, you know, I'm very, very apprehensive about doing anything involving that kind of stuff, because God forbid, what if I'm not even kidding you, what if I just put the thumbnail of the anime series in the corner and I review it just talking, like I do all these movies reviews and things I do? That's all it is. It's a spoken word review, right? So imagine I'm doing that and a company strikes down the video saying you used our art or logo or something, you know, and they're apt to do that. So that's why I don't really mess with that, you know. I feel like there's enough content out there, and there's enough people who already talk about anime that I don't need to be one of them, you know. Probably, I'll be honest as well, probably not in my expertise or forte. When I was younger, I watched anime a lot more. I haven't watched it in a million years. So to me, it's just, you know, it wouldn't even be in my wheelhouse. So probably not. All right. Any last minute questions, guys? Have you ever thought about making a documentary or writing a biography about my YouTube career? One that I have control over. Not like down the rabbit hole, but your own. I don't know. Maybe someday. The thing is, I really don't feel like we're at that point where that needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel that way. Maybe further down the line, when I'm ready to hang it all up, right? And I'm ready to relax and take a step back, or maybe dramatically change what I do on the internet, then maybe it would make sense. But now, I don't see the point in doing that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not changing, you know. Things aren't going horribly. You know, there's no reason to really do something like that. In my opinion, anyway. Which Call of Duty campaign was the most memorable favorite for me? The older, like Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and 3, like the originals. And the original Black Ops, I remember that one. And Infinite Warfare. Because remember, that one had an abnormally great campaign for no good reason. It was just super good. And the funny part was, most people didn't play it, but it was ridiculously good. Spawn Killer did a super chat. He says, surprisingly, Burger King hot dogs were good. Well, if you remember, I reviewed them. And, excuse me. I reviewed them when they came out, and I didn't think they were good. I just didn't think they were bad. I thought they were decent. Like, they tasted all right. But in my opinion, like, I don't think they were any better than what, like, you can make at home. Like, if you're buying a high-quality hot dog at home and just adding good condiments, then it would taste just as good as what the Burger King hot dog was. So it wasn't a big deal, you know? Let's see here. World at War. You know, I don't remember the World at War campaign. That was a very long time ago. So, what was I going to say? Oh, the classic Call of Duties. Like Call of Duty 1 and 2, they had really good campaigns. They did. But no one remembers them because that was before the era of them being modern era shooters. They were all like World War II era stuff back then. And the original Call of Duties were super good games. If you like that style of like military historical shooter, they were fun and they were really good. But they're super old and most people don't remember the classics. I remember them. I played them on PC. They were really, really good. Let's see. I'm not even reading this. Someone just tipped, and half of their statements are incorrect. This is not the debunk the misinformed hour, so I'm not even wasting time on you. Stupid. Thoughts on the fillet of fish? It's not bad, but it's also not good. It's just meh. It's really small now. The fillet of fish is like really small sandwich now at McDonald's. Because it used to be a full-size like sandwich you get in a meal. And now they turned it into like a snack sandwich. But it's just okay. It's not great, but it's not terrible. See you later, Derek. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, man. Oh, excuse me. All right. I think we're going to wrap this up. I'll end by saying this, okay? Thank you for understanding why I don't want to wrap myself up in drama, why I want to stay completely out of it, and why I just want to focus on games and positivity and fun this time of the year particularly. Now is the time for that stuff. Now is not the time to be jumping on a toxic bandwagon for personal gain. I refuse to do it. I feel like I have enough to offer to this planet and to my viewer base, and you guys love what I do enough that we can be fine not having to stoop to that level. Please keep it out and understand why I want to stay that way, okay? Also, thank you for your support. This has been, you know, overall a very supportive week. It just sucks that it's a bad time because of the illness, because of the chargebacks, because of this bullshit. Thank you for that. If today's a solid day of engagement and support, this would be a great way to end my week. You know, I have my day off tomorrow. I have to buy a game tonight. I have to spend a lot of money tomorrow on stuff for the week. It would be great to have a solid day to help. If you could help with that, thank you in advance, all right? And thank you for understanding. You know, again, every day on this show, I try to be as honest and transparent with you as I can. And for those who understand that and get it and don't spin it into something toxic, thank you so much. All right, ladies and gents, that is it for the show for today. I wish you the best. I hope that you had a great week here with me, coming back from my illness. I did my absolute best to play as much as I could, get as far as I could. We certainly could have done better. Being that I didn't wrap up any games or anything, but maybe we could change that today with Alan Wake 2, maybe not. I feel like we are in the home stretch of several games, all right? And I appreciate you all hanging out with me every day here on the show. Thank you so much to those who chill every day, for those who watch on demand after the fact as well. Thank you for that. And I will see you all on Friday. Peace out.